All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Kansas. Cody the Dominator Burke and Clay Kirchenbauer on the front row. David Lux and Vic Brown have the second. Bradley James, Tyler Ott have the third row. Austin Ruskoff, Mark Dantum on the fourth. Richard Cragen and Patrick Pieper round out the top 10. William Mann Jr. starting in 11th next to Brian Hewitt in 12th. Jeremy Queener, Ryan McDaniel 13th and 14th. Colby Whipple and Larry Waits round out the 16-car field here tonight. Larry Waits did not qualify, but he is on the grid. As the last few drivers get on the grid, we're about to go racing 150 laps here at Kansas. Drivers looking at 42 to 45 laps on a tank of fuel here tonight. Most of them right at about 43. This is a track that has a tendency to do long green flag runs. So we may see this one go green to checkers, and we could very well see multiple green flag stops here tonight. If it stays green, they will have to make 3 stops. All right, everybody is on the grid. We're about to start rolling. The pace truck leads them off pit road. The sun is starting to set. Will we end up under the lights is the question. It's 5:30 track time, so unlikely, but a lot of cautions could definitely change that. We are in Kansas and do have a 13 mile an hour, now 12 mile an hour wind. Air temperature though 69 degrees. Track temperature currently 71. So cool track temperatures do mean higher speeds. Drivers did talk about the nose floating a little bit on entry, and we saw a lot of guys getting loose on exit. Could be a deciding factor, as here we go. Pace car is in, and the green flag flies. We are underway at Kansas. And the drag race down into turn 1, led by Cody Burke. A lot of side-by-side stills that come out of turn 2. Larry Waits appears to have lost some ground on the start. Vic Brown is on the attack. Cody Burke will lead lap 1, but Vic already to his bumper. And it did look like this group was going to try coming to turn 1, 3 wide. Couple of drivers backed out of it. Clay Kirchenbauer now in 3rd, trying to reel him in. Points leader Bradley James in 4th, battling with David Lux. Looked like a couple of them, especially the guys up on the high line, got a little squirrely coming out of 4. And Vic Brown has taken the lead here early. Oh, we've got, I think, Richard Cragen blinking a little bit mid-pack. Vic Brown will lead it at the line, picking up some bonus points. Vic a little squirrely out of turn 2 that time. A lot of the field already single file. Jeremy Queener and Colby Whipple battle back at the back. Larry Waits is losing ground on the lead pack. Meanwhile, Vic Brown out front is already opening up a gap on the Dominator as points leader Bradley James looks to the high side on Clay Kirchenbauer. Tyler Ott right behind that battle as well. Cragen's starting to close in. David Lutz is slipping back. Vic Brown has opened up a 1.1 second lead over the Dominator. Bradley James has now cleared into third. Clay still trying to fight down the bottom. Bradley James definitely needs to get up and lead a lap or two at some point tonight just to negate Cody Burke's bonus points. Clay Kirchenbauer now in fourth. Richard Cragen already in 4 spots. Into fifth. Cragen, another one who's come on strong here later in the season. Cragen comes into the 8th in points. He has been charging forward in the second half of this season. Vic's lead continuing to grow, now 1.5 seconds over Cody. Meanwhile, Bradley James in third is reeling in Cody Burke. Clay Kirchenbauer in fifth, David Lutz in sixth. Both drivers losing ground here early. Patrick Pieper starting to move up. He is now up into 8th. Pieper did have some problems early on in practice, but he's figured it out and starting to move. Also on the move, William Mann Jr. is now up into 10th, battling with Tyler Ott. Tyler Ott, William Mann Jr. still battling back behind. That's a battle for 9th and 10th. William Mann Jr. with the advantage on corner exit pulls ahead. Mark Dantuma has apparently already had a problem. He is out of the race early. May have been a connection issue, not 100% sure. Boy, Bradley James right up on the wall through 1 and 2. You can see all that debris building already up top. Could be a problem later in the race as debris continues to build. Austin Ruskoff has moved back up into 7th and is right on David Lutz's bumper. Tyler Ott has just taken 8th from Pieper. Vic Brown's lead has shrunk just a little bit, now down to 1 1/4 seconds over Cody Burke. Bradley James in third. Not getting any closer. That gap holding at about 0.8 of a second. Oh, a little blink from Bradley. Richard Cragen now up into fourth and is closing in. Last time by, Cragen was the fastest car on track. And it is worth noting, Kansas, one of those tracks that the tires do wear quickly. Vic Brown has the fastest lap of the night at 29.94. Last time by, 30.76. After 15 laps, almost a second a lap slower. Looks like that is pretty consistent throughout the field. Cody Burke has managed his tires a hair better. He is starting to close in. Richard Cragen back in fourth is closing the gap on Bradley James. Now just 0.4 of a second behind. Wow. Clay smacked the wall at a 4. It looks like the car is okay. Still at speed. Had a little wobble going off into turn 1. David Lux back in 6th. Tyler Ott in 7th. Austin Ruskoff now in 8th. Patrick Bieber in 9th. William Mann Jr. in 10th. Ryan Hewitt in 11th is closing in. Coley Whipple is on the move up 3 spots into 12th. Ryan McDaniel in 13th and Larry Waits in 14th. Jeremy Queener surprisingly has slipped back to 15th. And you can see it there. Vic's lead is shrinking. Cody Burke just about a half second back. Bradley James in third. Richard Cragen still right behind. Clay still within striking distance. Mark Dantuma came into tonight 5th in points. Man, he is going to lose a lot of ground here tonight. But Vic Brown, who's in the lead, will move into the top 5. Hey, good evening, Gerald. Yeah, the tires on these cars, they are a little bit odd. As Cody Burke reclaims the lead. Remember, they're only about halfway through their fuel run. Oh, Clay got the wall again. As it looks like Richard Cragen's starting to fade a bit. Cragen was battling with Bradley James for third. He has lost some ground now. Clay trying to take position. Clay Kirchenbauer moves back into fourth. Cragen back to fifth. Lux back in sixth as Tyler Ott right behind. Austin Ruskoff, Patrick Pieper also close. I mentioned it in the pre-race that this is one of those tracks that does have a tendency for long green flag runs. 23 laps into this, they may very well go caution free tonight. And the field's starting to spread out. Tyler on the move, looking underneath David Lux. Can't get him this time. We have seen it all season long. Tyler Ott has been fast on the long run. Tyler Ott does come in tonight with 2 wins. Kirk Marble came in tonight 4th in points, but he did not make the grid. Could be a very, very good points night for Vic Brown, who's currently running in 2nd, and Clay Kirchenbauer just took 3rd. Clay is known for his long run speed, and he loves running that high line. Bradley James reclaims 3rd for a moment. Oh, Bradley gets the wall hard. Clay able to drop down and quickly drive by. It's also brought Cragen back into striking distance. Cody Burke in the lead again, has a 1.4 second lead over Vic. Clay Kirchenbauer in 3rd, about 2.4 seconds back. Likely to see Clay start to reel that top 2 in. Bradley James still in 4th, Cragen in 5th, and Cragen's going to look high. Bradley shut the door, now Richard down to the bottom. Bradley has the momentum advantage up top. Cragen couldn't get by, and Jeremy Queener is in. Looks like he's going to try a little short pit strategy to see if it pays off. He will be the fastest car out there by a lot. Clay Kirchenbauer in 3rd has started closing in on Vic Brown as Richard Cragen and Bradley James continue to battle. Mark Dantuma is back on track. Does appear he was having connection problems. Jeremy Queener also rolls out. Mark is going to be over 20 laps down. But you never know, if somebody crashes out early, he could pick up a lot of ground. Jeremy Queener now out on track with the freshest tires. He is a couple of laps down at the moment, but can he make up some ground here? He's going to be well over a second a lap faster. Vic Brown still holding on to 2nd, but Clay Kirchenbauer is getting closer. Tyler Ott also starting to move. Ott now in 6th, battling with Bradley James for 5th. The next 10 laps before pit stops will really see who has been conserving in the early going. Cody Burke's lead now over 2.5 seconds over Vic Brown. Tyler Ott still battling with Bradley James. Richard Cragen not far ahead. Another driver who conserved in the early going and starting to pay off. Brian Hewitt now battling with Whipple. Both drivers starting to move forward here after the tires have worn. Colby Whipple now 5 spots into 10th. Larry Waits also has made up some ground in the early going, up to 13. Jeremy Queener closing in on the cars ahead. Remember, he's not on the lead lap. He did just come off pit road. But riding along with Jeremy Queener, about to see the difference between fresh tires and 35-lap old tires. He can pick the throttle back up much quicker. And, whoa, gets the wall a little bit out of 4. William Mann Jr. just ahead as they go off into turn 1. And he's able to keep it down on the bottom and just power by. Back down into 3 and 4. Brian Hewitt just ahead. And man, even if you're not battling for position, I've said it 100 times, being the only car out there on fresh tires is a lot of fun. Cody Burke's lead now 3.3 seconds over Vic. And Patrick Pieper is in. He's about 4 or 5 laps early, but we have seen Patrick working this short pit strategy a lot in the second half of the season, and several times it has paid off. Clay Kirchenbauer in 3rd is almost caught up to Vic Brown. Richard Cragen now in 4th. But here comes another car charging late in the run. Tyler Ott now up into 5th. And speaking of charging on the long run, Colby Whipple now up 6 spots into 9th. And Brian Hewitt now up into 10th. There's Jeremy Queener in the... Whoa, Queener's starting to have a connection problem. Larry Waits is coming in. Remember, 42 to 44 laps on a tank of fuel. Clay Kirchenbauer has given up 3rd. He is in. Points leader Bradley James is around. He quickly recovers. Man, that is going to cost him. Let's take a look. All right, there's Bradley James as he comes through 3 and 4. Just gets the angle wrong coming onto the apron, and just enough that it sends him sideways onto pit road. And pit road really heating up. David Luck's coming in. Colby Whipple is coming in. Really surprised Whipple and a few others have not tried to stretch it as fast as they are on old tires. Brian Hewitt coming in now, as well as William Mann Jr. Gerald, yes, man, that is tricky. Coming to pit road here, you come off the banking, you got to do it just right, getting onto the apron, because the apron is flat. That car's in the wrong position, it unsettles it, and you go for a ride like we saw with the points leader. Vic Brown is in, Richard Cragen is in. Tyler Ott also in. Hey, good evening, David. Welcome back. We missed you, buddy. How you been? Looks like Burke, the only one that has not been in yet. But here he comes. Cody Burke gives up the lead. He is on pit road. Austin Ruskoff just hit his pit stall. Clay Kirchenbauer currently scored in third. Will he be able to pick up the lead here? He jumps up into second. Cody Burke still sitting on pit road. Will Clay get by in time to lead a lap? Burke is on his way out. We mentioned a couple of drivers earlier on that are definitely going to benefit from some of the drivers not being here. Kirk Marble and Mark Dantuma. Well, Kirk not here. Dantuma having problems earlier. Vic Brown going to jump up quite a bit. Clay Kirchenbauer also right there. He is 7th in points. He's going to make up some ground here tonight. And leading a lap would definitely help. But he hasn't got to it yet as the Dominator holds on to the lead. Clay Kirchenbauer in second. Patrick Pieper currently in third. Almost a third of the way through, still no cautions yet. Let's run through the field and see where your favorite drivers are after the first round of green flag stops. Cody the Dominator Burke out front, looking for his 8th win of the season here tonight. Clay Kirchenbauer currently runs in second. Clay is known for getting his wins late in the season. Could tonight be the night? Patrick Pieper currently runs in third. Patrick surprisingly has not been to victory lane yet this season. Vic Brown coming in 4th. He has been to victory lane once this season, looking for a second one. Richard Cragen currently in 5th. Cragen has turned it up to 11 the second half of this season. He has been marching his way through the field and through the points. Tyler Ott currently running in 6th. Ott picked up a lot of ground late in the second half of that run. Likely to see if he can hold on to 6th until tire wear becomes an issue. He could start marching his way forward again. Bradley James came into the night, currently runs in 7th, came into the night with the points lead. needs to move up through the field. Colby Wemple has been marching since about lap 20. He's now up 7 spots into 8. Another one to watch on the long run. David Lux has been turning it around the second half of this season. He is currently in 9th. Austin Ruskoff currently in 10th, just holding on to it for the moment. William Mann Jr. currently running in 11th, trying to get himself back into the top 10. Jeremy Queener currently running in 12th. Ryan McDaniel in 13th. Ryan had a problem a moment ago. We'll take a look here in just a second. Larry Wade's got a speeding penalty on pit road. He has slipped back to 14th. Brian Hewitt also appears to have picked up a penalty or two. He had a very long pit stop. He has slipped back to 15th. Bit of a heartbreak after the run he was having. And Mark D'Antuma with connection issues early has slipped back to 16th, over 20 laps down. Let's see what happened to Ryan McDaniel a moment ago. Oh, Ryan clipped the apron and just goes driving through the grass a little bit. And whoa! Great save by Ryan. And he had a wild ride for about half a lap. Kind of impressed with Ryan McDaniel's save there. Folks, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We did put up a new Crank It Up video on YouTube today, and we have a lot of races now in 4K and a bunch of YouTube shorts. After last night, we're likely to have a few Battlefield 6 shorts as well. Vic Brown currently holds on to third, about 2.25 seconds behind Clay. Cody Burke, meanwhile, has opened up a 5.25 second lead. Boy, this field needs a caution just to catch up to Burke. William Mann Jr., Austin Ruskoff still battling for 10th. Williams going to take it for the moment. Austin fighting back into 1 and 2 on the bottom. Oh, William got big loose out of 2. Manages to hold on to it, but yep, he lost some ground. Folks, don't forget, tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, Home Motorsports is back on track. Definitely looking forward to the exciting conclusion of that season. The points battle, man, is it close. And as soon as we figure out a way, we will be doing a couple of we'll be doing a stream for a couple of races we missed recently. We'll be showing them from the replay, so look forward to that. Also, I will be streaming some this weekend, so make sure you tune in. Say hi. Even coming by and hitting the like button saying hi is a huge help to us. Well, the Dominator got the wall into turn 3. Doesn't look like he got any damage to the car. Yeah, Gerald, I actually found a way. I think I'm going to try and get yours done tomorrow. At least get your short done. Colby Whipple has moved up into 8th. Last time by, he was the fastest car on track. And he is closing in on everybody ahead of him. Richard Cragen up 4 spots into 5th. Patrick Pieper now 4 spots into... Whoa! He's in 6th at the moment. Bradley James is closing in. Especially with Pieper riding the wall out of 2. David Lux has slipped back into 9th. Was really expecting him to be up in the fight. He was definitely fast in practice and had a fast qualifying lap. And William Mann Jr. is in early. It looks like William may have lost connection. No, he has got it. He is sitting on pit road. And it does appear William is retired. Cody Burke's lead over Clay continues to grow. Now 6.9 seconds. We mentioned it during pre-race. The driver said that car, the front end felt a little floaty going into the turn, but then it gripped and was pretty good. Now we know Clay loves it when that back end is sliding out from underneath him. Hopefully as the track cools and the night comes over, he'll find a little bit more speed. Vic Brown in 3rd, about 1.8 seconds back. But Tyler Hunt now up into 4th. 1.5 seconds behind Vic in closing. Colby Whipple now just 3.25 seconds behind points leader Bradley James. Colby continues to inch closer. almost 20 laps since most of these drivers hit pit road. The tire wear is really starting to show and the lap times just getting slower. Austin Ruskoff now into 10th place. Larry Waits is up to 13th. Larry about a lap behind Ryan McDaniel at the moment. Remember, Larry, one of the drivers that got a penalty under that first green flag stop. The other driver being Ryan Hewitt. And man, we've talked about it for a couple of weeks. Hewitt has been getting faster and faster. He was up battling in the top 10, but that penalty has really hurt. Mark Dantuma is in. And Jeremy Queener is coming in. Mark was off cycle due to loss of connection. Not sure what Queener is doing in this early. Cody Burke starting to close in on lap traffic as we approach the halfway point of the race. Cody's lead now 7.6 seconds over Clay Kirchenbauer. Vic Brown in third was starting to close a little bit on Clay. This will be an interesting battle between the two. Both drivers extremely good on the long run. And with Tyler Ott 2.5 seconds back in fourth. Definitely going to be interesting if these three end up together. Patrick Pieper is in. Remember, Patrick is on that short pit strategy. Most of the rest of the field, at least 5 laps, if not more, away from coming in. Cody Burke now in lap traffic. He's got to negotiate. Clay Kirchenbauer might be able to reel him in just a little bit. Vic Brown now less than a second behind Clay. Tyler Ott still holding about 2.7 seconds back. Colby Whipple is coming in. That is a bit of a surprise. Whipple ran it to the end of the run last time and was picking up spots along the way. Now David Lux heads to pit road. Most of these guys pitted on lap 43, so they could have made it about another 6 laps. Really surprised to see so many in early. Patrick Pieper back out on track, and look at the speed difference with the fresh tires. David Luck's on his way back out. Larry Waits is also on his way out. And points leader Bradley James is in. Clay Kirchenbauer is starting to get closer to the Dominator. A few hundredths of a second a lap, but he is inching closer. And Richard Cragen is in. Meanwhile, Bradley James on his way back out. And Clay Kirchenbauer comes in. Vic Brown now in second. Tyler Ott in third. The sun is starting to set here. Track temperature still holding about 73 degrees. The air temperature has actually gone up to 70. Bit of a surprise to see it warming, but once the sun goes down and the lights come on, things will cool off very quickly. Cody Burke, Vic Brown, Tyler Ott, and Austin Ruskoff, the only four drivers that have not been in yet. Cody Burke has been having to deal with a little bit different lap traffic the last few laps. As a lot of these guys coming off pit road getting around him. Looked like Ryan had a little bit of a bobble coming out of turn 2, right in front of the leader. Vic Brown continuing to stay out for the moment, as is Tyler Ott and Austin Ruskoff. And Vic Brown is bringing it in. Gets it wound up. Tyler Ott also in right behind. Will Austin be in, or will he stretch it another lap? Oh, Austin's got another lap in it. As does the leader, Cody Burke. Austin sends it off into 3 and 4. And Austin Ruskoff is in as the Dominator gets it another lap. Everybody will have to make one more stop. Any lap after about lap 108, 109, everybody will be able to go the distance from there. Cody Burke is in. Brian Hewitt may have gotten another speeding penalty during that last stop. Gerald, I probably would have tried the same thing, but if I had tried to split the last two stops, it would have got a caution right in the middle, because that's my luck. Clay Kirchenbauer is closing in on the leader, but remember, Clay did pit a lot earlier. He's only about 3.4 seconds behind Cody, but Cody does have the freshest tires on track. Richard Cragen is now up into fourth, but he does have Vic Brown right on his bumper. And Patrick Pieper has made his way into third. Remember, he has some of the oldest tires on track. We'll see here soon if his short pit strategy pays off. Larry Waits looked like he got a little squirrely out of turn two, as Vic Brown is going to take fourth place, and now third from Pieper. And Vic just got 2 for 1 as the Dominator just set the fastest lap of the night. 29.92, and he is one of only 2 drivers under the 30-second mark. The other one, Vic Brown. Now Cody Burke has already started checking out again. 6.4 second lead. That lead continuing to grow at the moment. Meanwhile, Vic Brown, who's just moved into third, is just over 2 seconds behind Clay. And Vic is reeling him in as Larry Waits is back in unexpectedly. And Larry cannot go the distance from here. Let's take a quick look after pit stops have been completed. Let's take another look through the field, see where your favorite drivers are at. Cody the Dominator Burke is out front. He has an 8 1/4 second lead. Clay Kirchenbauer currently in second place. Vic Brown is in third and starting to close in. Richard Cragen currently runs in fourth. Tyler Ott has just taken fifth place from Patrick Pieper. Tyler Ott is starting to close in on the cars ahead. Remember, he has been one of the fastest on the long run tonight. Patrick Pieper still holding. Oh! Pieper holds on to six, but not for much longer. Bradley James underneath. Pieper is running that short pit strategy, which gives Bradley James the better tires of the two. David Lux currently in eighth, starting to move back forward. Colby Whipple currently in ninth. Bit of a surprise to see Whipple hit a little bit differently last time. He had been marching through the field before that. Austin Ruskoff currently in 10th. Jeremy Queener currently in 11th. Jeremy had lost a lot of ground early in the race. He has been picking up positions ever since. Ryan McDaniel currently in 12th, having a pretty consistent night. It is worth noting he is not in VR tonight. Brian Hewitt, a couple of penalties have sent him back to 13th after running in the top 10 in the first run of this race. Larry Waits currently in 14th. Mark Dantuma, after connection issues early on, over 20 laps down, in 15th. And William Mann Jr. out of the race early. Cody's lead now over 10.7 seconds. But the battle for second is heating up. Vic Brown now just half a second behind Clay. Vic does have 5-lap pressure tires. And that 5 laps makes a huge difference here. Tyler Ott now up into 4th. Ott is also closing in on the cars ahead. Tyler Ott also one of the fastest cars on the long run tonight. And some of the drivers are now within their fuel window. Everybody will be within their fuel window in the next 5 laps. And we could see some big strategy changes here. Most of the field can go to about lap 120 to 125. But we're likely to see some guys duck in. Mark Dantuma has just ducked in. Remember, he is off cycle, and he is pulling over. And it looks like Dantuma may be out of the race. Clay Kirchenbauer still holds on to second, but how long can he hold Tyler off? And with just over 40 to go, we have yet to see the caution. We have seen a few C12 races go green to checkers without a caution, but we haven't seen one do it in a while. Tonight could be the night. And I guarantee you, tomorrow night, Home Motorsports will not go caution-free. They are at Martinsville. Short track racing at its best. Ryan McDaniel is in. He had just moved into 12th. He is going to try and capitalize on fresh tires. He can go the distance from here on fuel. Tomorrow night will definitely be an interesting race in Martinsville. A tricky track to pass on. Gerald Poole pulled off the win last week at Talladega Home Motorsports. Can he make it 2 in a row and go from the biggest track to the smallest? Jeremy Queener has just completed his pit stop. Clay Kirchenbauer still holds off Vic Brown at the moment. Tyler on in fourth, 3.5 seconds back. He is closing in on that battle ahead. These two better be careful not to battle for too long. Tyler might join them. Richard Cragen also showing some speed here late in the run. He's about 4 seconds behind Tyler, but he is maintaining an equal pace at the moment. Gerald, you'll have to remind me of that number tomorrow night. Gerald is predicting Martinsville tomorrow night. The over-under on cautions being 3.5. Tune in tomorrow night and see how close he is. Patrick Pieper is in for his final stop. Pieper has been doing this short pit all night long, and really the second half of this season. We'll see if he makes up ground in the last part of this race. And Austin Ruskov, wow, surprised to see Austin in. Austin is usually stretching fuel to the limit. He has been fast on the long run tonight. Can he pull something off with fresh tires? Clay Kirchenbauer has managed to hold off Vic Brown, despite the fact Vic has the fresher tires. Tyler Ott now 3.3 seconds behind that battle. Oh, Clay gets into the wall in 1 and 2. Everybody's starting to look a little bit loose here. The driver said the right front was getting eaten up, but it looks like that right rear is taking some wear as well. Tyler now just 3 seconds behind Vic, and closing as Colby Whipple is in. Cody Burke's lead now 14.1 seconds as the points leader Bradley James is in. He has not had a good night coming to pit road. There's Bradley coming through 3 and 4. He definitely entered, but just a bit too wide, has to yank it down. He does hold on to it this time. Bradley is not Brian Hewitt. What the heck just happened with Brian Hewitt? Let's see what happened with Hewitt coming in. There's Brian coming through 3 and 4. Just got down a little bit late. Likely he had picked up a penalty on that. And Brian is serving a penalty as Richard Cragen is in. And David Lux has had a problem. That car is tore up. Let's back this up just a hair. All right, there's David Lutz in front. Pieper right behind. Pieper on fresh tire. Oh! Patrick gets into him. Man, what a hit and what a heartbreak for Lutz. Clay Kirchenbauer is in as well. Well, this has been the most eventful pit stop of the night. And Lux is still on pit road. I think he might have forgotten to check the fast repair. Tyler Ott also in. Cody Burke and Vic Brown, the last two to come in. If I were Vic Brown, I'd duck in right now and have some fresher tires and maybe be able to close some of that gap on the Dominator. The Dominator's lead now 16.25 seconds. Tyler Ott on his way out. Vic Brown is continuing to stretch it. Now Patrick Pieper is currently scored in third. He is closing ground on the top two, but they're going to have to stay out a lot of laps for him to have a shot at reeling them in. Bradley James, the points leader, is now up into fourth. Bradley has had some pit road issues, but late in the night he is up here in the top five, doing exactly what he needs to do to maintain the championship lead. Because Cody Burke has led the most laps here tonight, he is picking up all the bonus points. And the leader is coming in. Vic Brown appears to be setting up to come in as well. Larry Waits gets a bit of the wall. And here comes Vic to pit road. Bradley James has just taken third. Clay Kirchenbauer had an extra long stop. Most of the drivers 14, 15 seconds on their stop. Clay's final stop was 20 seconds, and that has cost him a lot of ground. Cody Burke on his way back out. Tyler Ott still holds third, but Bradley James is closing in. Vic Brown on his way out. Cody Burke's lead, 15 seconds over Tyler Ott. Bradley James now in third. Clay Kirchenbauer in fourth. Patrick Pieper in fifth. Cragen back in sixth. Vic Brown in seventh. Vic does have the freshest tires on track, but does he have enough time to use them? Vic is about 2.3 seconds behind Pieper. He is closing in on everybody ahead. And the caution is out. Our first caution of the night flies for Ryan McDaniel. Wow. Well, let's see what brought this out. Looks like the issue had already started. Let's back it up. All right, there's Ryan coming through 3 and 4. He gets the wall. A little squirrely coming off the wall, and ouch! A hard hit into the front stretch wall right in front of the leader. Well, this is going to be interesting for sure. Will anybody come in for tires? Cody Burke's going to lead them in. And he may be coming. Nope, here they come. Everybody is coming in except for Vic Brown. And Vic does pick up points for leading a lap. Vic had just taken fresh tires, but he's only got about 5 laps on him. But as we have seen tonight, those 5 laps do make a heck of a difference. One driver that did not want to see this is the Dominator. He's now in second place. And that 15-plus second lead has disappeared. 9 cars left on the lead lap. Whipple's coming back in. Vic Brown, Cody Burke, Clay Kirchner, Tyler Ott, Patrick Pieper, Richard Cragen, Bradley James, Colby Whipple, and Austin Ruskoff will all be on the lead lap. And since we haven't had a chance to do it tonight, what do you folks say we get a little bit loud on the restart? When the green flag drops, I'm going to shut up and let you guys crank it up and listen to all the horsepower. The leaders are stacked up and ready to go. Can Vic Brown hold on to it? All right, pace truck is in. The green flag flies. Crank it up, y'all. Vic Brown, that is a beautiful sound. Vic Brown still has the lead. Bro, Bradley James has had a problem with Pieper behind. They both hold on to it. Cody Burke is looking to reclaim the lead coming out of 4. Vic still has it. Tyler Ott now up in the mix. Blake Kirchenbauer also back up in the fight. Out of turn 2, Burke clears into the lead. Vic right on his bumper. Tyler Ott right behind as well. 10 laps to go at Kansas. Burke is starting to pull away. Bradley James currently in 5th, trying to get underneath Clay. Hasn't got the run yet. Patrick Pieper currently in 6th, battling with Cragen. Cragen has the run down to the bottom. Cragen down to 6th. Pieper crosses over. Tyler Ott has the run. He'll take 2nd. Bradley James has now gotten back to Clay's bumper. Does he have anything for him? Burke is pulling away while they battle behind. Clay looks for 3rd, and Bradley James is looking really low. Cody has opened up a 1-second lead on Tyler Ott. Clay now to 3rd. Bradley James battles with Vic Brown for 4th. Cody continuing to pull away. Meanwhile, Tyler Ott in 2nd. Is pulling a gap on 3rd place Clay Kirchenbauer. Bradley James almost clears into 4th. Vic's giving him one heck of a run for his money here. Clay Kirchenbauer now in 3rd. Bradley James is going to the high side. Now clears into 4th. Can he get to the podium? Cody's lead now 1 1/4 seconds over Tyler Ott. But Clay Kirchenbauer is reeling Ott in. 5 laps to go. This fight ain't over yet. Clay has a run, looking up to the high side, out of turn 2. Oh, Bradley really pushing it. Gets a little squirrely. Now Patrick Pieper battling with Vic. Cragen in that mix as well. 4 laps to go. Cody Burke out front by 1.5 seconds. Just needs to keep it pointed the right way. Oh, we've got one in the wall behind. It was Whipple. Whipple had made his way forward, but now losing ground. Oh, you got to hand it to Colby, up 7 spots into 8th. Tyler Ott still holds on to 2nd. Bradley James in 4th is closing in on the 2 cars ahead. And Patrick Pieper is closing as well. And that time by Tyler Ott was the fastest car on track. Puts a little breathing room between him and Clay for the moment. And here we go. The white flag flies one more time around for Cody the Dominator Burke. He has led most of the night after qualifying on the pole and has opened up a 1.5 second gap as he goes off into turn 3. The Dominator will do it again. Win number 8. Cody the Dominator Burke wins at Kansas. Tyler Ott holds on to it and comes home in second. Clay Kirchenbauer comes home with a hard-fought third. Bradley James, the points leader, comes home in fourth. That top 7 in points just got a lot closer. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Clay. Clay, one heck of a run tonight, man. I really thought you had the speed on the long run. I thought you'd be in the battle for the win.
Yeah, I mean, Cody's in a league of his own, but we were fighting for best in class there, the rest of us. Felt like I made a mistake there on the race. I just had no short run speed. I needed that 40-lap run, so Tyler got by me there on the restart. And then once, these cars are really fun, but they do get really aero tight, so you can aero block pretty good. He did a good job there, aero blocking me the last couple laps. But really fun race, and happy brought it home clean.
Well, great job tonight, buddy. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, Doug.
Tyler Ott comes home in second. Tyler, that last couple of laps, you were actually faster than Cody, and you were one of the fastest cars on the long run tonight. Man, could you have done it with that staying green?
No, I was not catching them all at all. I was going to be lucky if I got held on the second there, since Vic pitted late, but I'm glad with the second.
Well, man, you definitely had one heck of a run, and we noticed you came through the field all night and were definitely one of the top 2 or 3 fastest on the long run.
Yeah, it was kind of boring there in the middle part. I was just all alone.
Well, man, you made it look fun and exciting. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, Doug.
And finally, our winner, Cody the Dominator Burke. Cody, you make it look easy for the rest of us, but it ain't.
No, it's not that easy, but that was the most straightforward race I think I've ran this year.
Well, it definitely appeared to be. I mean, you were able to stretch the fuel a lap or 2 further than everybody else. Had this thing stayed green, you honestly would have had one heck of a big win, but still, you managed to hold on to it even after the caution.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought we'd go caution free. I'm not sure what the caution was for, but it made it interesting there. I wasn't too good lap 1 through 5 after tires. 5 through about 35, I felt pretty good. Just had to give it all I had, run some qualifying laps there, and keep a decent gap between me and Tyler, and picked up the win.
Well, man, a great job. It was an awesome win and a heck of a night, bud. Congratulations.
Thank you. We'll be back next week, see how it goes.
All right, great job, man. Cody the Dominator Burke. He doesn't get the nickname the Dominator for nothing, because he did it once again at this thing stayed green. No telling what would have happened or how big the win would have been. Don't forget, tomorrow night we have Home Motorsports on track, and they are short tracking at Martinsville. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a lot of YouTube shorts coming out, so you'll want to make sure you see them all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great night, everybody.